Folks who follow TexasFootball.com will be familiar with our next guest. Of course, the man behind, maybe they don't know your face, but they definitely know your work. We are joined by Matt Davenport. Matt Davenport is our high school helmet guru here and formerly of the Texas High School Helmet Project. Matt, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
I guess the big question probably anybody who's watching this wants to know is how in the world did you get involved in making hundreds upon hundreds, bordering on thousands, in fact, probably thousands.
Yeah, more than thousands at this point.
Of Texas high school helmets. How did you get involved in this?
Because I don't have a life.
Brother!
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
No, when I was in college, I operated, it was 1A-TexasFootball.com. I did that for 4 or 5 years. I was coaching at the time, went up in classification, didn't have much interest in 1A Texas football anymore. But while I was operating that side, I was like, I'm going to make helmets for every school in 1A. Because on that side, I had scores, I did rankings, standings, everything. So something to add to it, do helmets. Well, once my interest for 1A kind of went away, I still had the interest in helmets. So I thought, I'll do this for everybody.
And so the Texas High School Helmet Project was born. And I know that it became one of those sites that, especially among nerds like us, we were always on. Was there a moment where you kind of looked around and you go, oh, this has gotten a lot bigger than I thought it would get?
Yes. Yes. Not as far as, I guess, publicity per se or, recognition, just the mass sheer amount of files I had and keeping up with what I had and making sure it was accurate. Of course, I got a little carried away a few times and did some other states and colleges. But as far as people looking at the website or what it become, that never overwhelmed me. But just the sheer amount of data and information I had.
It is because
it's overwhelming.
Right, because the thing is, we're not talking about just the Lake Travis Cavaliers or the Katy Tigers, right? We're talking about every program in the state doing their helmet. So can you take us maybe through the process of making a helmet? Let's say that we're launching Tepper High School. How do you create the helmet that we see on TexasFootball.com/helmets?
I am very OCD as far as detail.
I've noticed.
When I get pictures from individuals, game pictures, and they're kind of grainy or far away, that doesn't do me much good because of my detail, So, like I said, OCD about it. But, a large picture of the helmet. If you follow me on Twitter, I've got some that I've posted that are good examples of what I need. A clear picture, both sides. People will send me one side. Well, that doesn't help me. Is that picture of the Panther, is it facing the front or the back, or is there a number? A lot of coaches are going to numbers on the side of the helmet. So I really need to see both sides of the helmet. To make it really easy, if the coach will send me the decal proof the decal company has. If I don't have that, I'll have to recreate it. The coach over at Seminole, he sent me their helmet back probably about in March, asked me to make it, and I emailed him back. I said, can you take the picture at the angle of what the helmet is? So then he did, and then I had to cut it out, to fit the right design of the helmet. But
and your graphics have changed over just in the past couple of years because I know that the original helmets that we saw on the Texas High School Helmet Project before we partnered with you were obviously great, but were a different design. These have more of a 3-dimensional look to them. These have a little bit more depth to them. Has that been an adjustment for you as far as making those helmets a little bit different?
No, not really. Once I get my template set up and know, it's not just putting the decal on. It takes some 3-dimensional works for those decals. You can't just paste them on there and have the look of they're on a helmet. But once I figure out, where to put it, what to do to it, I can take any decal I want to.
It's Matt Davenport, TexasFootball.com/helmets here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. I guess, you do this on the side, obviously. This is not your, we should probably say Matt Davenport is technically employed by Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We pay you to update the helmets for the site. But I also know what we pay you, and it is not enough to live on.
No.
So what do you what do you do for a living? How do you is this just a way to stay involved with high school football aside from your straight gig?
Right. No, it's a hobby. I had an interview, probably about 8 years ago. My favorite line is, "Some people hunt, some people fish. I make helmets." That was my, 28, 29-year-old self saying that.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoy it. It's relaxing. It's kind of time I can be by myself. But what I do for a day job, I'm the assistant superintendent of Whitesboro Independent School District. I'm over our business and finances. So the passage of House Bill 3, if y'all have heard of that, that's causing me some stress right now.
I bet so. Do you have a background in graphic design?
Not a bit.
Really?
Not a bit.
I think that's maybe the most shocking thing.
But I find that a lot of people who get passionate about this are really just kind of self-trained. I'm the same way. I was never taught. It's just kind of when you want to really try to figure out how to do something, you won't stop till you get it right.
And that's what, I operated the website. I had no training with websites either, no classes. Back years ago, I would look at the HTML code and figure it out.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. We're cut from the same cloth. That's very very much on brand for us. So then, are there helmets? First and foremost, I guess we should also mention, if you go to texasfootball.com/helmets, and you're a coach watching or just a fan, I guess, and you're interested in getting your team's helmet updated. Even if the helmet hasn't changed, we can put it in the new kind of 3-dimensional graphic logo, which I love and I know we use all the time for layouts and things like that. So it's not just people who have changed their helmet, but also for people who just want to get it in the new format, right?
Right. Well, that's what I was telling Max. The first one we started this, I guess about January.
Yeah.
First one I got, Coach sent me the information. I sent him back the old helmet design, and he goes, "Can we get this in a newer type helmet?" So I told Max, I said, let me figure something out. So.
Yeah. Do you and then the other thing for me that struck me, whenever you send these coaches their helmets, right? You go and you redesign Max High School, right? And then the coach will go and tweet these things, and it feels like it's just built a lot of momentum, and it feels like it's like a lot of coaches are just like keeping up with the Joneses right now.
Right. But it's awesome. I mean, they see it. Of course, some people use them for their goal boards, in their locker rooms, their schedule. So if you got one, you want them all right.
Yeah.
So, Twitter's helped build a lot of traction.
Is there a helmet that stands out that you found particularly challenging? Is there a helmet that or 2 or 6 or whichever?
I'll tell you what's challenging for me as far as designing them. The stripes, the pennant ones that have the designs on them, those get a little tough.
Yeah.
I'm curious too, because really the important thing here is you love this. You've seen all the helmets, the designs, all these schools come up with the classics, the new ones. I think the first question is we all talked about how helmets are changing constantly. It's hard to keep up with them. But the first one is favorite helmet designs of all time, Texas high school football, and then follow up. I know not all the new designs are your favorite, but are there a couple new ones that you actually think are cool?
All-time favorite design, I won't change this, is still Arlington Lamar.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Never
It's a great
been
one.
to high school, never.
It's a great one.
I mean, I've watched them play one time in the early 80s, but it's a classic. It hasn't changed. That's would be my all-time favorite.
That is a good one.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
New one.
New one. I do like the one design that I'm kind of cool with is like the 3-color shift, like where it's the stripe that goes around that wraps around the back.
I was fixing to say Midlothian Heritage.
Yeah, it's kind of like
that's
that.
a perfect example.
And I don't know if y'all have the new decal they put out because I've
the
got
newer
their
one. You sent it to
2019.
me. Yeah.
The AU Concepts designed their helmet. Their decal.
I really like I really like the Dickinson one now with the 3 colors. The stripe that goes around the back, the blue, the white, and then the D. The classic D is still there.
Jersey Village.
Yeah, they were one of the first ones to do it with the purple and gold. Yeah. I really like that look. That's like the only one of the new helmets. I'm like, I can get behind
Comanche will
it.
have one this next year.
Oh, okay, all right. John Neal, longtime viewer of Texas Football Today, will be very excited about that.
Well, and another thing I'm interested in is obviously you're using this to stay involved in Texas high school football. On a Friday night, where are you? What are you doing on a random Friday night in October?
Probably at Bearcat Stadium here in Whitesboro. I've got my 2 older kids will be juniors next year. My son's not a football player, but they're both in the band, so that's where I'll be on Friday nights.
They're involved then.
Yes.
Yeah, they're committed to Friday night. Well, I got to tell you, we're so thrilled to be partnered with you. I know that this was a big push Max had, as far as getting these graphics up on TexasFootball.com. I think it's such an important part of just the color of Texas high school football. We talk about the great players, we talk about the coaches and things, but there's so many things that go into it. And with so many different programs. There's just a lot of ways that this is a great way to recognize all these different programs. So I think I speak on behalf of Texas high school football nerds everywhere when I say thanks so much for all you do, because it really is, I think, uniquely Texan to have one guy who is this obsessed with this. I mean that in the most positive way. That I think that I hope that what you're doing, there's a lot of people out there who really appreciate.
Right. And that's what, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it. I enjoy helping people. So, I mean, it's just something I enjoy to do and continue to do it.
So if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Twitter. I don't know all that stuff. What's my handle?
Is it Helmet HS? Is that right?
I think that's it. At Helmet HS.
At Helmet HS. It's the Texas High School Helmet Project. And, of course, TexasFootball.com/helmets. You can find all of Matt Davenport's outstanding work and information on if you want to submit one. Do you have an idea, and I'm probably putting you on the spot of a question you don't know. Do you have any idea of what percentage of helmets have been updated with the new graphics?
Jeez, a lot.
40% maybe?
Yeah, I'd probably say 40. That's probably a good number.
Most 6A,
yeah.
probably half of 5A, a third of 5A.
Right.
Well, we're thrilled to have you in. We're thrilled to be partnered with you at TexasFootball.com/helmets, and we're thrilled to keep the Texas High School Helmet Project alive because I know this is, as I mentioned, this is a site that I know a lot of people relied on, and when it went dark there for a minute,
everyone panicked.
Everyone, especially the two of the three people in this room.
I would have never known, because you talked about, when I recognize what I have?
Yeah,
I did. It's sheer data, but that reaction that when I no longer did it,
because we couldn't have been the only ones.
No,
I know we weren't.
No, when I was at the Statesman, I mean, it was a fun website that we would kill time at in Austin. That was the late 2000s. I mean, this is way before you shut it down. But even then, it was like, it would be all the sports writers sitting around the room at the Statesman being like, this guy's site is amazing.
Yeah. He is Matt Davenport. Find him on Twitter at HelmetHS and find his outstanding work at TexasFootball.com/helmets. Matt, appreciate you stopping by and appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you for having me. I'm just as thrilled as y'all are. I'm probably more thrilled to be a part of TexasFootball.com.